This might be the biggest leak I've ever covered on this channel. This should be pretty interesting. What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Lootbox Hero, bringing you another video. Alright, so this is a pretty huge leak that happened here. Of course, I covered part of this on my main channel, at least the parts that concern Nintendo. You can check that out. If it's not up now, it'll probably be up by tomorrow. But yeah, of course, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell, do all that stuff that YouTube wants you to do in order to keep getting content from me on both my channels here. Alright, so GeForce Now is the streaming service for Nvidia. And essentially what they do is they stream video games, similar to Amazon's Luna and Sony's PlayStation Now. And essentially what their business model is they are a subscription-based company, and they go to publishers and game developers and they basically ask to get their games put on their service. And if probably some nominal fee, they probably pay the publishers to get the games put on their service. And then of course they test the games to see if the games will work on the service. And then if so, things are fine, they put the game on the service. If not, then they'll go back to the publisher and maybe get some things tweaked on the game with the developers, or the game won't go on the service. And now this is what leaked. So a database containing the games that they tested on the service leaked, and there's a ton of games on here. Some of them, a lot of them are unreleased or unannounced games. Now we have a lot of games from Sony, like the Uncharted collection, which just got announced back at the PlayStation showcase. Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, Returnal, Demon's Souls, and Ghost of Tsushima. For Microsoft, here's where things get interesting. Most of the Microsoft stuff isn't announced. So Gears 6, to my knowledge, I don't think they've announced Gears 6 yet. So, of course, Nvidia would have the connections to get a hold of Gears to test it to see if it'll work, so that once it does come out, maybe it'll come out on the system at launch. Oxide, which is a new 4X strategy game coming from Microsoft, something think like Humankind or Civilization, Project Holland, which is, I believe it's Fable. Project Typhoon, Untitled, and an Untitled Initiative game. Alright, and here's where things get wild though. Okay, so the wild stuff comes with the third parties. Chrono Remastered. You know what I'm saying? Which, okay, I'm cool with that. Chrono Trigger, they were awesome. A remaster of Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay, Final Fantasy Tactics is huge for me. Alright, I would not have been. I got into Fire Emblem because I was looking for a game that was like Final Fantasy Tactics. And so, more than likely, they're probably not going to remaster the GBA game, which is what I learned on. They're probably going to remaster the original PS1 game, which is awesome. Alright, and it says remaster, so it's not like the full Resident Evil 2 or Final Fantasy Remake treatment. Like this next game, Final Fantasy 9. So Final Fantasy 9 could be getting the FF7 treatment, alright? Which is huge, because they specifically said remake and not remaster. So remaster is taking the original and upgrading it a bit, and then kind of re-releasing it. Remake is like, okay, this is all new materials. Alright, so that could be huge. I don't know why they would announce something like this in the middle of Final Fantasy VII Remake, since we have no information about R2, but they're gonna do another one. But interesting though. Kingdom Hearts 4. Really? Kingdom Hearts 4? This sounds like one of those Dream the Impossible Dream lists. Like, oh, my uncle works at E3 and he told me this. Like, You know, but again, Kingdom Hearts 3 did pretty good. And I can see them doing a Kingdom Hearts 4. I see them doing more something along the lines of Verum Rex quicker than that. But Kingdom Hearts 4 could be a thing. Street Fighter 6, Monster Hunter 6, which are givens because they were part of the Capcom leak that happened last year. The Grand Theft Auto collection. So Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, the remasters. So I think that I'm kind of thinking that that's a real thing now. Too much has been said about these things for them not to be real. And Bioshock Remaster, which I'm probably Bioshock 1, and Bioshock 2022. So I have heard that there is a new Bioshock game in development. This is probably what that is, which will probably get announced sometime next year, if it hasn't gotten delayed. Because remember, this list is 6 months old. 6 months old. So these games could have been delayed. Some of these could have been canceled. You know, again, they'll just take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if this information has changed or not. Particularly when we get to some more of the nutty stuff like XCOM 3, Injustice 3, which I believe is probably either canceled or delayed indefinitely, because it's possible that the guys who make the Injustice games are gonna get sold by when they split up Microsoft, when they split up WB Games. So I mean, that's why they're gonna work on Mortal Kombat over working on another Injustice game, because they might not have access to the DC properties anymore. So that game definitely might not be a thing. The Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 remake, Total War 9, which I'm trying to remember. A Total War game, it feels like a Total War game just came out recently. Another really interesting one is, of course, Mortal Kombat 12, Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, and Fight for Middle Earth. So this is interesting to you is because you don't remember Battle for Middle Earth, the Lord of the Rings RTS game from EA back in the day, which was great. Alright, this could be a sequel to that. You know, of course, EA doesn't have the rights to the Lord of the Rings games anymore, but yeah, this is huge. If these turn out to be true, this list is just blew up years worth of game announcements. Whew. Alright, so that's about it for this. Discuss in the comment section. I want to hear from you. Talk to me, see what you think. Tell me what you think about this list. And like, comment, subscribe. And as always, folks, keep it real.